Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So let's talk reselling gear. Been doing it for about 20 years. Every year I was cycling out gear, changing brands, doing a lot of different things. Kind of got accustomed to doing this. And so I want to go over 4 areas. And I guarantee you, if you stick with this video, 15 minutes probably, it's going to save you hundreds of dollars, if not thousands over the long run. Because really, if you're doing photography, your tastes are going to change. You're going to want different lenses. You're going to want different systems. I'm doing this all the time. You know, studio work is a different camera than wildlife. A small street camera, the lens is there. It's completely, to me, different in the feel of everything, the things you get going. So 4 things, we're talking average transactions, maybe $25, $50 here, sometimes upper $400 or so with the bigger transactions. But if you're doing multiple transactions like this, it adds up to thousands of dollars. So let's get into the 4 areas that we're talking about. And actually, I'm going to get into one of my transactions with Adorama and some of these other places because I sold my 300 to 800, which you guys have seen in different videos. Too big for me. I'm getting older. Wasn't enjoyable. But I'll talk about the transaction that went on with some of these other stores and the price swing, because it's actually fairly substantial. But before we do that, let's get into the 4 areas. So 4 areas we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the maintenance phase, the maintenance of the equipment, how you list, things you list, your reputation, how to build that up, how to get that, because all these things matter for price, believe it or not. And then where do you sell? The pecking order, the best prices, my list that I go down. We're going to get into all that, and it adds up. You know, it might be 25 bucks for this piece, $50 for that piece, and all of a sudden you're talking real money that you're leaving on the table by not doing this stuff. So maintenance is the first thing. I automatically, every year they're coming out with a better camera, quicker, and in the early 2000s, these cameras were phenomenally better than the previous ones. Just megapixels, speed, buffers, everything. So the first thing I do, keep the box. There's only generally 3 or 4 things I take out, generally 2 or 3 things. Keep the box, keep it in a good, safe area, keep it clean. Generally 3 things I take out of it for a camera. I take out the camera, the battery, and the charger. I don't take out the neck strap, excuse me. I don't take out the strap, the books that you can't read because the fine print, different languages, or any of that. You find it better online, all that kind of stuff. So how much money are we talking about? Well, I've had people that write me messages saying, hey, you're $50 to $150 more than this other guy, but he doesn't have the box. And they'll ask, is that box come with it? I was like, yeah. What do you think? And he's like, well, this other guy's got it priced for $50 cheaper, but he didn't have a box. Well, hey, that book wasn't opened up, or the neck strap wasn't opened up. Did you use it? I'm like, I used the camera, but I didn't open up anything. Okay. So there's a common theme that's going on with this is, if they think that you've kept, if you kept the box around, you take care of your stuff. And so the maintenance aspect, I'm I'm nice to my cameras. I baby them. And even though I'll put them through some stressful situations, I don't put them undue, areas. Like I don't keep them in a 150-degree car. I don't go down gravel roads a lot with the camera gear in it. I don't keep them in super cold cars. I don't keep them in cars at all, like bouncing around. If they're in my car, they're going somewhere. If I travel, if I fly, generally the camera gear is with me. It's the reason why I like small gear, because I don't want some dude just chucking it 20 feet into the back of something when you have like a $2 or $3 or $10,000 lens. Not cool. Sometimes you don't have a choice, but I think you get it. You'll see black tape on these cameras, right? Like the black tape. Guys will tape up their camera and then untape it, and there's no scratches. If I have a dual-sided LCD lens, I close it. I don't have any other metal touching. It's generally all in cloth, so it's not bouncing around. In the time of 18 to 20 years, I've had one camera with an LCD scratch, and it was right down the middle. It was a Fuji little point and shoot. Loved it, X20, X10. I dropped it in Yellowstone and scratched the back of the screen just a little, and I had to tell them, you got a scratch on it. It cost me probably $150, $200. That was on me. I knew it. It's what happened. So maintenance, because it comes down back to the listing. So how do you list this stuff? You've kept the boxes, you've got it in good order. Awesome. Obviously, you're going to take great photos of it. You're a photographer, you're doing something like that. You want to take great photos of it, list it accurately, list all different angles, photograph all different angles, list it accurately, show maybe the shutter counts, list why you're selling it. Because on Amazon, believe it or not, you can tell in the description of what comes with it. Generally, I list extra batteries or something. I throw those in for free because believe it or not, you list, hey, it comes with 2 extra batteries. If it's the same price as someone else, they're like, hey, this guy's got 2 extra batteries, a lens hood. They'll buy that. I guarantee it because they're thinking in their head it's just a better deal. They got the box. Everything is consistent. So you got great photos, a little extra stuff here and there if you can put it in. You want to list the shutter counts, the clicks, how you used it, why you're selling it. You can put all that stuff. Even in Amazon, you can put that stuff. You know, I'm saving up for the next A7R4, R3. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Because you're going to get those questions anyway. You're going to, I get constantly questions like, hey, why are you selling it? I want the new Sony. I want the new Panasonic. I want this. Oh, okay. So it's that consistent theme through your maintenance phase to your listing phase. And what even makes it more consistent is, you notice these 4 phases build, or first 3 are consistent, is reputation. That's the third thing you have to worry about. And I cannot stress that enough. So an extra box might give you 150, 100 bucks, 25, 100 bucks, whatever. Good listing might give you another 25, 50, 100, whatever. In comparison, and reputation. If you're starting out with reputation, let's say you're going on Amazon, you don't have any sales and there's 0 reputation. Don't sell like a big expensive lens. Like, don't do that because they're going to look at it like, why is this guy selling a $3,000 lens? His first get, I'm like, is this a scam? He's not proven. You're going to get substantially less. You might be able to sell it for say 2,500 if it was 3,000. But if you don't have a reputation, you might only get 2,000 out of it. So what you do is you sell smaller items, your cheaper lenses. Get that reputation up first to where even if it's a $2 sell, as long as someone, hey, I got this product on time, I got this, reputation on that stuff is everything. And I've had people email me or message me and say, hey, I paid extra XYZ just to let you know because you have a good reputation on selling. I'm like, that's awesome. Like that other guy, his was an 80, but sometimes on Amazon or wherever you get 90s, upper 90s, you're doing well. You're doing well. And you're doing, or on eBay or something, or on any of these sites, which we'll mention. You get that going. You see the first 3 things, the maintenance, the listing, if that's spot on, and your reputation, average transaction. There's been times where I've sold things that say the next guy closest is $1,600. He doesn't have a box. He doesn't have the reputation. He has extra goodies. There's a consistent story. His listing is horrible with the photos. Really, in a lot of ways, he's cost himself at least $200 or $300 just by kind of being lazy on not putting things together. So what's the places that you can sell this stuff? I have a pecking order from most profitable to least profitable, which we're going to get into. And I'll tell you about the transaction with Adoram. I haven't forgot about that or the interaction there. So I go Amazon first. They're the most stringent. They got a warranty policy. Just live with it, do it. Amazon, eBay, then the photo sites like photo.net, DP Review. You got a bunch of other places that will do it. Craigslist is kind of like, that is your garage sale. It's pretty bad. I have a tendency, people really want you to give things away, but that is like my second to last place. And then there's the last place, which is these camera stores. And you're talking like pawn shop prices because they'll say, oh, you can do this. Now you'll see YouTubers with like 5 million subscribers and maybe some place, they always do it dramatic. They get out all this stuff wrapped up. I'm selling it all, man. This is all got to go. And this place gave me the best price and they wrapped it up and they made it so easy. I just push it away and that. You got to understand, this guy has got 5 million subscribers. In a way, they probably said, we'll give you a great deal on it if you talk about it on camera. Why wouldn't it? So he's probably getting like, we'll sell it to you for what we're getting. But that doesn't mean you're going to get that deal. And so here's the situation. You guys seen my 300 to 800. I've run in this multiple times. Send the 300 to 800 to Adorama. They sent me back, and I sent it with the case and the swivel mount, which is a lot. I paid probably $2,800 for the lens, cameras, things, and everything. They sent me back a quote for everything that I paid $2,800 for $1,200. I was like, whoa, that's pretty low. I thought I got a good deal. Oh, I'm like, yeah, just send it back. And so I started thinking about it more once it came back, and I'm like, hey, I sent a lot of other stuff. What would the lens be? Like maybe I could keep the swivel mount, which is like $500 or something. Like, what'd you guys evaluate? And they're like, oh, well, you got to send it back in again. We can't. I mean, but you just looked and went, no, send it back in. So they sent me in. I'm like, okay. Send it out another couple of weeks. They sent it back. We'll give you $600 for it. I'm like, why 600 now? I don't know. That's the way the guy evaluated it. $600. I'm like, oh no. All right, fine. Just send it back to me. So I get it back, and I just want to make sure there's no issues. I spent another couple hundred, had a guy check it out. He went through it, said, lens works, man. It's great. Me being cognizant or me being a little gun shy, I'm like, well, this thing's probably okay. Well, I'm going to keep the swivels, keep things. I'm just going to sell the lens in the bag. I listed on eBay for $2,000, and it sells within 8 hours. I probably could have listed it for $2,500 or more. I don't know. I'm just kind of like kicking myself. But that just goes to show you, like, I sold it in 8 hours and for $2,000, and these guys were going to give me $600 for it at something like that. And this kind of goes to show. I've never sold a camera at a camera store or anything in 18 or 20 years, because it's always been the same thing. It's like pawn shop prices. It's pawning something in. It's like, well, I got an Olympus. I was like, hey, what would it take if I wanted to upgrade it through this? Like, oh, well, we'll give you $180 for it. I'm like, go out on eBay. I sold it for $499 within XYZ amount of time. So I know these places need to make money. I get it. But it doesn't mean that you need to give them your money. Okay? So that being said, I hope this helps out. If I missed anything, I want to know, like, you guys reply back. Like, if there's a more profitable way to make money, tell me. And I'm coming down to the end of my selling camera gear. I'm kind of consolidating things, but I think, as I mentioned, next few years with all these different mounts, the financials are in. There's some big companies that there could be some large change scales where some companies where people are selling a lot of the same gear. People say they won't, but over a period of time, I've noticed the same thing happens. They say they're steadfast, then they're like the last one out, and they want the new greatest gear. And it's obvious, like some other things. So it is what it is. I hope I helped you out, guys, and yeah, hope to see you next week.